Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. And today we're going to be building something way different, way outside my comfort zone in Oasis Springs. I thought it would be really fun to recreate this mid-century modern-ish home. It says contemporary home. I think this was from like the front of a book or something, but I found it on Pinterest and I just thought that this picture looked really, really cool. And it was definitely something that we could recreate in The Sims. It definitely required a lot of roofing, which you will see shortly, was greatly impacted by the bug that we have currently as at the time that I'm filming this and recording, but it is supposed to be getting fixed soon, fingers crossed. I think it's coming out in an update on Tuesday. I believe it's on Tuesday. So at the end of this video, I may or may not include the little workaround that I found to at least take good screenshots. It does impact, obviously, the inner ceilings of the home, though. So I didn't end up using a workaround. I just used it for taking screenshots and making it look pretty. Otherwise, I just kind of had to deal with it, and I just waited until they had it fixed to upload this to the gallery. But here is a little view of the side and back of the house. I did finish the roofing, and I didn't catch it on recording, so my bad. There's also a little pergola off to the side, and I included the little chimney piece. It's not the chimney piece I end up using, but that is like a placeholder. So, and then we work around to the front, and we're trying to place all of these very many windows. I was trying to, like I said, replicate what I thought the front of this home would look like. I do end up changing the windows a whole bunch. You'll see them come and go, but either way, I think that it worked out pretty well. And then I placed these get-together windows, the triangular ones that kind of poke out a little bit. Later on, I think I replaced them with the Eco Lifestyle windows. They look just like it, but they're single tiles. So they're like single windows, and I had more ability to freely place them without them clipping together on the inside and looking really funny. Here's those windows now. I think I'm pulling them out right this second, but I think they look really, really nice. So I hope that you enjoy them as well. I wanted that to kind of replicate what I could see in the picture. Obviously, it's just black and white and then the green on the roof, but it did look like it kind of had a funky window or a window covering, and that's what I wanted to go for, so hopefully it translates well. Also pulled out a debug planter to put up here in the front and also some bushes, but eventually I moved this whole house back on the lot a little bit more. It was just too much free space in the back and not enough in the front. I wanted to make sure I could add some landscaping to match Oasis Springs. I'm also going to use some glass roofing up here where the living room and also a study kind of room goes. On the other side, it's just the normal drywall for now. You'll see that change later on. Here I am also adding some spandrels and some columns to the pergola over on this side. I thought it looked really, really nice over here. So that is the basic shape, though, of the entire outside of the house. So we can get rid of that inspiration image, and I'm just going to add this little palm tree like it had pictured in the image. And then we are working on the kitchen. So just coming up with the basic layout, I wanted to make sure that it was a big enough kitchen, but it wasn't too big. I assume this family really likes to entertain or have people over to enjoy their home, and the dining room and kitchen are the main hubs of this house. So wanted a lot of windows in here. I wanted a really funky looking table. I wanted some bright colors, and I wanted everything to stand out. I did try to keep it funky but also modern, so there's modern amenities in this home. There's, you know, electronics and stuff, but I wanted it to look really retro and fun. So I hope that you understand what I mean. It's like a renovated mid-century modern home, but with modern technology and stuff. So I wanted it to kind of blend the two. Over here, I had to mess with the pergola for quite some time and also rearrange where the spandrels are going because I wanted it to line up with the roof of the house and also have a nice little space for having like a bonfire or for eating outside because it comes right off of the kitchen. I thought that would be nice. And then there are two bathrooms. So we have one that ends up being connected to the parents' room and the other one that is just as the main entry of the house. So everybody can use it. There's also two bedrooms, the parents' room, and then there's the boys' room, the kids' room, with two beds. It's a bunk bed situation, of course, because that's the main way I could figure out how to fit everything in here. But all the rooms are very funky and colorful in their own ways. I did try to keep the color scheme going. I looked it up on Google, like a bunch of different mid-century modern color palettes, and trying to keep with the style that I was going for because I'm very unfamiliar. I don't know anything about mid-century, so I really wanted to make sure I captured that. And the bathrooms are both pretty much the same. They have the same sink, which came from fitness stuff, and then also the matching shower. The toilet is, I believe, base game. I just have it in a black tone, and it's a very dark bathroom. This mirror is also from Businesses and Hobbies. So I do copy all of the same things over to the parents' bathroom, but I also gave them a shower tub combo so that they could have the ability to do both. Over here in the living space, I did pull out this very modern fireplace that ends up going where the door is to the boys' room. I have to move some things around. This room was very small, and the living space that I was working with ended up being very small, but I think that it really works out in the end. It's very cozy, and it's very, very funky and cool, and I really enjoy it. So I hope that you think so too. Of course, had to pull out the bright orange cozy couch and love seat, and then I also put like this marble slab kind of table behind the couch so that you can put decorations on it, or a light, or books, or whatever you want behind there. And also it just takes up a little bit of that space before the window, because I didn't want the couch to be so far away from the fireplace and eventually where the TV is going to go. This very modern artwork TV, I guess is what you want to call it. It's the hidden TV. And then I'm finishing up the roofing, and you'll see it's like all disappeared because I took away the ceiling in the kitchen over where the dining table is, and also where the living room is. And yeah, but either way, you can still see some of the roofing, so I guess that's good. I used this bright green sheet metal roofing tile, and I think that came with For Rent, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. If I do find where it's from, I'll correct myself. Also went in with all the wood paneling. I really wanted a lot of wood paneling because I thought that would fit the vibe very well. And then there's also some like white kind of concrete stucco, I don't know what that is, but it just looked really nice. And I also wanted to keep it somewhat clean. There's so many different colors on the inside. I kind of wanted the outside to be simple, besides the wood paneling and also the windows and all of the bright light that's coming into this home. I wanted those to be the standout characters of this build. And in the kids' room, we have a little corner window situation because I thought that would be a nice little touch. That's like where they can have their computer desk. And I think their room comes out really, really nice. We have a little bit of a change of the wood tone going on. I didn't like how bright and red the wood tone was. I wanted it to be more of an orangey tone. So we went with this one instead. And I'm pretty sure that is from Growing Together, but I'm not sure. Again, this was a little while ago. So forgive me for forgetting where everything is from. Also, this horrendous kitchen counter from Parenthood, but in this kitchen, it works because it is very retro in my opinion. And I really liked how the colors, like, it was just like bright orange and this like muted kind of bluey green color. I don't know. It looks really, really funky. So I enjoyed it for this purposes. I don't think I've ever used it before this, but I think it's really fun. We also have the upper cabinets, but I put them in a white so it wasn't so overwhelmingly green, and then added the little dish rack from the Country Kitchen kit, I believe. And then the appliances, the fridge and the stove, are from the Restoration Workshop kit, but they are the repaired ones, so they will work well. They're very retro looking. The range hood is from, I believe, Home Chef Hustle. And then the sink with the cup in it, which I thought was cool, is from the Kitchen Clutter kit. We also have a dishwasher from Parenthood, and I broke out the Restoration Workshop microwave and coffee maker, and I think I also put a waffle maker somewhere in this kitchen. I'm not 100% sure where. Also a blender, because of course there's a blender. All the appliances are white because I didn't want to take away from the colorful wallpaper and the countertops. There's also a burglar alarm and a smoke detector, of course, and this very ugly linoleum floor tile, which I normally hate, and I went back and forth with it for a while, but I think in here it works well because it goes really nicely with the Parenthood tile that's on the wall in the kitchen, and then this flooring that I think came with City Living. Also this very large and colorful rug, which may or may not be from Seasons. Again, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place because I don't remember where anything is, but it was a while ago. Okay, there's been a lot going on. Lots of bugs happening. The other day, my game wouldn't even load. It just kept crashing out on me. I had to repair the whole game and hope that my mods still worked. It was the weirdest thing. It just would not load in, and I've never had that problem before. So we're all going through it. Hopefully this update that's coming out on Tuesday will be a savior for all of us, fingers crossed. But we have some lighting going in. I put in a little coffee bar, as you saw. It's really, really cute. I also end up cluttering it up later. I'm not sure if I do it on camera or not, so you might just have to wait for the screenshots to see all of the cluttering. And then we add this lovely light, which I think is also from Fitness Stuff, and these large curtains that are from Cats and Dogs in like this blue and yellow and kind of creamy stripe. I really enjoy those. I think they work really well in here. They're a little bit more muted than the dining table and chairs and the rug are, but I think the same color palette is definitely there. A little window above the sink, of course, and then in the entryway we have a little like buffet table thing with a mirror on top. Again, I end up cluttering this much more later on. I had to kind of go back and forth, but I wanted a really funky modern light, so I put that one in there. And then a coat rack and a little plant. There's a little entryway rug, which I think came with high school years. I just like how it's bright and colorful and kind of blocky and modern looking. And then here in the main room of the house, I was working with some green on the wall, and then I decided to change the entryway to have the wallpaper from the Grange mudroom kit. That's the one I was trying to look for, and I think that that looks really nice because it's kind of like palm fronds. You'll see it again in a little bit. Over here I split the room. This is kind of like an office slash music room, like a multi-purpose, kind of like a flex space. There's some chairs, there's these bookshelves from Growing Together, and then the desk from Businesses and Hobbies. I threw in the chair from, right now it's Life and Death, but I think I change it for the one from high school years in a more bright blue color. Orange chairs, of course, because I had to throw in some more orange. And then I use this like sunset wall covering. I don't know where that's from. I think it's just Base Game. And the same curtains from the kitchen in just this blue tone to kind of tie it all together. I end up putting like a bunch of different clutter on these bookshelves as well. I believe I will show a little bit of that in a second, but I didn't want to have the whole video be taken up. It's already long enough, to be honest. So didn't want to do too much on camera. We also have a lovely painting, and then this is the finished product. We have a bunch of different stuff. If you want to pause and take a look at what we have plants, we have books, we have a bowl, we have art, we have sculptures, we have a little car. There's a bunch of stuff. Didn't know how much I wanted to share on camera because it took me a very long time, embarrassingly long, should I say. Also, this rug, which is super funky and amoeba shaped, I thought it worked really well. And then with the chairs, there's like a little end table and stuff. In the living room section, we have another buffet table. That one is from Get Famous, and I wanted that one because it just looks very quintessential retro table. And then there's another little shelf over in the corner. I end up cluttering that up very shortly as well. Some curtains here over this large window, and I went back and forth with the colors for a long time because I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. But I think I end up keeping these ones that you see here and some shades from My First Pet Stuff. I know, I'm sorry, but I also use the end table in the living room is from My First Pet Stuff, the circular white one. So it's not the only item from that pack, but if you need to exchange them, you totally can. And then some lamps from Seasons, and also some candles from the Cozy Kitsch Kit, and some more little decorations like this drinks tray from Eco Lifestyle. Up here on the wall, I throw in just a little bit more art. And I tried to keep it pretty plain and not super cluttered because everything is kind of squished in this room. I had to add a little plant where the archway is because it just looks so cute, and I thought it was very nice. Another hanging plant over here in the corner, and the coffee table, which I believe is also from Get Famous. I think I changed the wood tone on it if I'm not mistaken, but I might not. There's also a little tray with a book and a coffee cup, some snacks because I figure all the kids will want to hang out here, and then we have a little candle on the table as well. I think I put some sculptures up on the fireplace. Yes, the little owl family and also the hippo. I believe the video game console goes out here for now, but eventually I move it to the boys' room because they have a little video game space. You'll see that in a little bit. Over here in the bathroom, we're cluttering it up with our bathroom clutter stuff. We have the soap pump and the toothpaste cup, and then we have some rugs, which are very essential in here because of the very cold tile floor. Even the toilet has a rug in front of it, which I know is very outdated, but I think that in this case, it works. It works for this house. I don't know if I would want it in my house in real life because ew, but some decorations on the back of the toilet nonetheless. And then we have some towels hanging on the wall. I use these kind of angled towel holders from, I think, Base Game. I just think, or they might be from Seasons. I just think they look really, really nice in here. And then a little piece of artwork from City Living to tie all of the colors together. Same thing for the parents' bathroom, just adding the rugs right now. There's also like a little organizer over by the door, a little shelf that I think came with Seasons. But everything else in here is pretty much the same, except for some robes hanging on the wall and the organizer, and then one more little piece of art from the Book Nook kit. And also a little nightlight, because of course we do. And now we are going to be moving into the parents' room, where we have a very funky rug trying to happen. It took me a long time to figure out which swatch I wanted to use, but I think this is the one I ended up going for, with the green and the gray. And then the bed is from, I think, Eco Lifestyle, but I really enjoy how all the colors work together in here, so I just changed the wall to be a plain one from I think that's from the Bistro kit, if I'm not mistaken. I just thought it looked really nice. And then over here again with the cluttering up, I will show a little bit of it, but I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just going to fade out to the completed thing, because it took me a very long time with tool mod, pulling out all of the things I wanted, using the shelf trick. All of the stuff on here is just insane. We have a little watch, and we have some cologne, some men's stuff. By the way, these shelves, in lieu of a dresser, these are from the Grange Mudroom kit. So here is the finished product. This is Dad's side, I think, because it has all of his little goodies. And then over here is Mom's side. We have some shoes, a purse, some books, a little bin of like toiletries and whatnot. And I think it looks really cute over there. So you'll see more of that in the screenshots, don't worry. And then the curtains, which I believe are also from Eco Lifestyle, just moving the end tables around, also adding some makeup and some nail polish and some little doodads over here. I think those are Mom's hanging clothes, so she likes to keep them up looking nice. And then over here in the kids' room, we have a desk going in this corner with a computer from a maker pack, but it was a free maker pack, so if it should still be available. If you don't have it, you should go grab all of the free maker packs that are available on the marketplace, because who does not want free stuff? All right, just saying. Go ahead and do that. And over here on the desk, we have a little book and a light and a plant. And then I'm working with a lot of the Comfy Gamer kit. So we have some headphones, and then I believe I add the pencil cup, and also we have some sticky notes and stuff on here, just because I wanted it to look pretty cluttered and used. Like, I think both the kids use this. And then we have another organizer that I think came with Growing Together, I'm not sure. A backpack on top over here. I did not add 2 backpacks, probably would have been a good idea. I think I just have the 1 backpack here, but maybe the other kid keeps it somewhere else. I'm not sure. And we have a very funky wall covering on one wall, and then blue on the other side, because, you know. And I continued the paneling from the living room and stuff, because I thought that it looked really nice in here, kind of blends in with the other wood tones in the room. That little QB light from Dream Home Decorator, and then there's a little retainer in a cup next to the bed. I've never used that before, and I just thought, you know what, now is a good time. We're just going to use that now. And of course, this rug from High School Years, also in the matching blue on the wall. I had a hard time with the dressers, I will admit. I had the 2 dressers for a while. I was moving everything around. I had the science table, but then I changed my mind, and I thought, instead of a science table, maybe we should have a video gaming station over here. So you'll see that change in a little bit, but there's also a lava lamp from Strangerville and some hanging skateboards up on the wall. I have this funky ceiling light going in, I think from, oh man, it's one of the Luxe kits. I can't remember. And then we're gonna quickly take a left turn, go outside, and we're gonna do some landscaping. Then we're gonna come right back, because I was all over the place with this build. We're having some posters going up, moving this mirror over here, and then we are exchanging that science table for the video gaming station. A very modern and funky looking coffee table is going to go in here, and these blow up chairs, because why not? Going to throw them in here as well. And everybody was able to sit on these and play video games with no problem. So all the routing in this house, everything was play tested, but we have their video game system and some controllers. And then I do end up decorating underneath the table. There's like a little milk crate with some records or something in it, and I think that came with the Basement Treasures kit, so I do slide that under there. But first, we're going to throw in a bunch more posters from High School Years, all different kinds, mostly video gaming posters, and also a little sticker printer up on the dresser, and some stacks of video games on the coffee table itself. Here I am adding that milk crate full of like books or video games or whatever you want to call it. They're under there. Another set of headphones on the dresser as well. These tiny little curtains from Parenthood, which I just thought looked cute. Like maybe they've been there since the since the kids were very, very young and they just never took them down, because why would you? Get a little bit of shade from the sun out in the desert. Some more decals and posters and little art hangings going up on the wall, and then that boys' room is pretty much done. So I got rid of the video game console out here in the living room. That way it could be decorated with another plant. And now we're going to work on some more landscaping. We have some debug and live edit bushes, some ferns. I throw in a bunch of rocks, and then there's a bunch more on this lot because I wanted to make it match the rest of Oasis Springs. I didn't want it to be too lush because it is in the desert. So I did kind of pepper in some cactuses every now and again and some aloe plants and some big leafy things. But over here in the shade, I think that these are where all the flowers go because that's where like the healthiest soil is. It's where they get the most shade and they can be closer to the hose so they can water them. I also added 2 hoses, decorative of course, on this lot because I just thought it was necessary. Plus they have the very large pool, which I'll show you more of in a second, but here's a little sneak peek and then a fade in of all of the cactuses and the aloe plants and the big plants that I put in over here on this side. And I create a little trellis for these vines over here as well, just because I thought it added a little interest and covered some of the paneling because there is a lot of paneling. And I changed up this little front bed too, added some more tropical plants, some more lavender plants over behind the garage, and then the little net and buoy over here hanging on that half wall. Here's the pool though. We are going to use the, what's that called? Something retreat, the pool kit, that you know what I'm talking about, adding some ladders and the trim and trying to figure out where everything is going to go because I also wanted to add a water slide from Adventure Awaits, and I used this one just in a beige color. Over here in the garage, we do have a garage with a non-functional car, and there's a bunch of tools and a woodworking table and all kinds of decorative things. There's also the electrical panel, which is functional. You can upgrade it, and some things hanging on the wall, some very, very large kind of shop lights. And I do exchange some tables around so that, you know, the functional one is more accessible. So if Dad wants to create any woodworking things, he totally can do that. There's a little fan in the corner. And then I believe what I do is add another one of these big shelves and just clutter it up with a bunch of other stuff. So here's some more tools and doodads and stuff, some lights, some boxes of junk, who knows, just trying to do my best to make it look like this garage is functional, even though we don't really have functional garages, and it makes me very, very sad, but that's okay. I think eventually, maybe, quote, hopefully, crossing my fingers, we will have something along the lines of a functional garage, or even like a car that you can repair even if you can't drive it. I don't know, maybe someday. That would be really cool for me. But we have some more landscaping going in. I use this lit up tree that came with an event we had, oh my gosh, I don't even know when. I think it was around Christmas time. It could have been, but I did put those over here for some added light, and I added some string lights on to the spandrels over top of where this little like sunroom gazebo thing is, and a little fire pit. And I also wanted to have a drinks tray and the matching table over here with the umbrella. I thought that that was just really nice. So we have a little space outside for eating and for having a bonfire and all that fun stuff, just hanging out right outside the kitchen. Some more rocks, some more big plants, some more palm trees, yada yada yada. I tried to do my best to just repeat the same plants and keep everything very cohesive because I like the way that looks. I do put in some other plants in the front of where those bushes are behind that half wall. Added a little bit of trim around where I could, where it would allow me to, and then some rocks where it would not allow me to, just so that it all kind of blends in and looks very intentional and like manufactured. There's also a slide in the back and a set of monkey bars for the kids to play on, and it is very shady back here during like midday, so I think it makes sense. We have some outdoor lighting going in as well. These are pretty modern in my opinion, and I don't use them very often because I kind of think they're ugly, but in this case I think they worked, so I put them all over the place. Also the trash cans are hidden, and then later on I add some bicycles to put alongside the garage. So there's a nice little space for us to park those. Over here in the front, adding some more tiny little plants and also a large palm or two. I was trying to make it a little bit more interesting here in the front because otherwise it looked very plain. And then inside we are going to work on cluttering one of my favorite parts of the home, which is the coffee bar. And we have a little mug holder and little bags of coffee. I added some shelves from the Cozy Kitsch kit just in white and some mugs on top of there. We also have like a little hot cocoa station and some little containers for food that I think came with kitchen clutter. I also put a bread box over here on this side to cover up the repeating plates because, you know, those are cabinet pieces, so they have all the same stuff on them, and I didn't want it to be super duper samey. And we also have a cereal box here with some little crumbles on the counter, just because I thought that added a little bit of life to it. And some shoes over by the front door. Taking a quick detour over here, a little plate that I think was handmade by one of the kids, maybe at art class or something, and another little landline phone on the wall, just because it's there and it's available. And you can actually use it. I know that you can use it to call other Sims or maybe order pizza. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's really cool. So it was a good opportunity. And then here in the kitchen, we have our utensils hanging up on the wall in the very, very corner, and a cutting board also hiding in the corner. We have a little spice rack hanging on the wall, and then I believe I also add some cookbooks and some other random clutter in the kitchen. Here you'll see I'm putting up some spandrels for where this opening is so that we have somewhere to hang our hanging light. We did not have that because I forgot. So then I had to go in and add the spandrels and then rearrange so that we could hang the light where it actually looks like it's attached to something. Otherwise, it's just kind of floating. But in the end, it looks really, really cool. I hope you enjoy it. I do have some nice screenshots of that. Also repeating the same tiny curtains from the boys' room in the kitchen and adding a little Lazy Susan on the counter, a little jar of cookies over here because why not? And then like soap and dishes and utensils and all kinds of little things you expect to see in the kitchen. But I think this came out really cute. I also did pull a family off the gallery to play test this, which you will see very, very shortly in the live mode footage. So I'll put their information and the gallery creator's information so you can check them out in the description down below. But I did make some adjustments. It was only one child, so that I had to add two. There's a teenager and a child, and they both share the room, so I wanted to make sure that fit. There was also a dog in the family, and I forgot about that until the very end. So you'll also see in the screenshots that I added some dog stuff in the living room and also in the kitchen. So I know that I didn't talk about having a dog in this house at all, and you didn't see it, but you will see it in the live mode footage and then also in the screenshots. Here's the little workaround that I was trying with fencing up top so that we could actually see the roofing pieces, and this is what I came up with. It took me a long time to kind of figure out, but again, this was just so I could take screenshots. I did not end up keeping this because otherwise it cut out my entire ceiling in the entire house, not just in the places where I wanted it to be cut out, if you know what I mean. So didn't love that for the purposes of taking screenshots and actually playing in the home, but you know, it's good for the exterior screenshots, I suppose. It just wasn't ideal for my entire dream of this. So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. But here is a little bit of footage. We have the boys in their room. The teenager is doing some homework and the kid is just playing some video games, and mom and dad are out in the pool enjoying it because it is a very hot day. It was actually a heat wave, but I think I changed it with UI cheats because I didn't like how it looked in the pictures. And then right here you'll see mom is filling up the dog's food bowl and calling him over to eat. I also added some treats up in the window. There's some bags of food, and also there's some decorations outside, like a little flower box and some benches. So I think that looks really, really cute. And mom has made some grilled cheese, I believe. Dad and his son are having their grilled cheeses, and the dog is just strolling around. I also added some lights in the cabinets where the coffee bar is because I thought that looked really cute. Coming out of her room to help with homework, and then dad comes around and starts distracting him. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it does. I really like how this room turned out too. It definitely looks like a cool and cozy like study area, but it's also very fun and quirky. And then here is our final look at the outside of the home. So I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see something different, what you're looking for with the next update, because I know there's some quality of life things coming out. I'm just crossing my fingers it doesn't hurt anybody's mods for too long because, you know, we need those to play this game, which is kind of sad. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed and let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.